Hey guys, welcome to 6 Minutes for Wednesday, October 26th. Jason Fulmore, SE Wrestle. And today we're shifting away from Georgia rankings just really quick to talk a little bit about the kickoff of the NAIA season. If you didn't know, we actually have quite a very strong contingent of teams down here in the Appalachian Conference and for NAIA. With Life and Southeastern and a bunch of programs all throughout the Southeast that compete in NAIA. And they kick off tomorrow, and I'm hoping to drop a kind of a preview of St. Thomas and Kaiser and at least just a general overview of kind of that and St. Andrews, a general overview of kind of what the landscape looks like, and then where you can watch the event if you're interested tomorrow afternoon down in South Florida. But before we get to that, I actually had an opportunity to talk to Coach Camp at St. Andrews. He took over at St. Andrews and has been juggling a few things, trying to get things arranged for a year. For the year 2022, 2023, and getting ready to take his team into what is really a solid conference and some great wrestling across the Southeast at the collegiate level, at the NAIA level. So he and I took a few minutes to talk about their trip to South Florida over the next couple of days, where they take on St. Thomas and Kaiser, and then on Friday night they take on I think the number 3 ranked team in NAIA Southeastern. So we just catch up a little bit. I hope you enjoy my conversation with Coach Camp, and tune in tomorrow where we talk a little bit more about NAIA, and then on Friday when we come back and talk about the 2A and 3A Georgia high school rankings. Hope you guys have a good one. See ya. All right, Coach Camp. We finally caught up with one another. It's before we get into the season and talk about the expectations and stuff. You're the new coach at St. Andrews. What was it about St. Andrews that was appealing? Why is this a place for you? And what can we expect from the season?
Man, it was kind of one of those decisions, man. I was like, it took me a while to really think on it because I was nervous, going into this situation, leaving high school. It was like, man, transition into college. And I was like, why not now? It was always like one of my things. And I had told my AD at South Florence, we laughed and joked about it. It's like, well, the only way I'm going to leave here if I get a college job. Well, funny I should say that because it actually ended up happening. So it turned out to be a good thing. It's been new surprise every day, man. I mean, it never stops, which is good.
Yeah.
Because,
the only thing I was going to ask you is that, so I coached high school, but I never coached college. Like, what was that kind of transition like?
Well, kids are still the same.
Right.
Just maybe a little bit more on the needy side, but it's okay. But kids are definitely kids. It's not really just the time and basically trying to plan everything out because they don't go home now. I mean, I go home, but they stay, and kind of having everybody in a central location makes it a little bit easier. But I'm not going, most college coaches like, oh, he's crazy. Like, it's not the same. Well, it kind of is almost. I mean, in some instances, a lot of instances, it isn't, but it hasn't been that hard of an adjustment yet. But I mean, I guess I'll find out this week how much of an adjustment it is when we actually compete. But it's been fun, man. It's been fun. I'm just enjoying the ride, trying not to stress out, and, just trying to take it as it comes.
Yeah. So before we get to this week, because I mean, one of the reasons we're talking, and you and I have gone back and forth on Instagram and talked a little bit about figuring out time to actually have this conversation. We finally get the conversation right before the week starts and the duels start. But before we get to that, what are kind of the expectations? What are the things you've been communicating to your team over the last month, over the last 2 months of
kind of what you're expecting?
Man, just go out and compete. We've really been working really, really hard. Kids are really buying in because I was kind of nervous about it. It's been a lot of culture changes here over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So, when I walk in, I met with everybody individually that first day, which is probably something I'll never do again in my life because it was like a complete sensory overload. Like, 24 different kids and 24 different personalities and different things. And I was like, yeah, that'll be easy. That was not a good idea, but it was good because they got to get a feel for me. I got to get a feel for them. And just basically, the biggest thing I was worried about coming here was earning their trust. Are these kids going to buy into me or are they going to trust me? And I was like, well, the only way I can do that is show them and just go extra hard and give them everything I've got. And in return, it's starting to really work out. With anything, any different transition, you're gonna take a couple of losses. A couple of people are gonna be like, "Hey, well, this ain't for me." I appreciate it, and I get that, and that was expected. But for the most part, I mean, it's worked out, and the kids are really, really buying in. They're working hard. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think we might surprise a couple people this year in a lot of situations because honestly, right now, if we're being 100% honest, and you know it, I know it, everybody knows it, nobody's expecting nothing from us. They're expecting, St. Andrews to be St. Andrews, and it is what it is. And I like that. I like us flying under the radar, not getting, because when you do achieve stuff, it's not that much pressure with it. So I'm excited about it. I'm really anxious to see where we at. We're just gonna keep building off of it. You either winning or you losing, one of the two.
Yeah.
Or you learning. So
So I looked at the roster and I knew this from years ago and talking to different coaches for St. Andrews. It's predominantly a Southeast group of kids, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, throughout the Southeast.
Mm-hmm.
If you were to point to say just 2 or 3 kids that you really kind of have looked at and expect something to happen this year, can you give me 1 or 2 that we on the outside should be kind of paying attention to?
Definitely on the men's side, Israel Schultz. I've known him for a while. It's been one of those kids that's kind of flew under the radar here. He just kind of went through it. One of those, I don't know if I really want to wrestle no more. Just kind of going back and forth. When he found out I was coming, he locked in, and Israel is very, very talented. He's working his butt off. He's really, really getting after it, and I think he's gonna be one of those kids that's gonna kind of just pop up from under the radar. Another one, James Roberts. He's a senior, a South Carolina kid from Hilton Head. He's tough, man. Tough as nails. He's had a lot happen in his life the last couple of years, but he, was able to hold it together, stay in here, and finish the ultimate goal, which is the same ultimate goal for all our athletes, is to graduate. But he's a senior now, and he's planning on be on track to be able to graduate. And he's tough, man. He's tough on the guys' side. Tanya Floriney, she's tough. When I came in, it was a big transition because they were still learning, but just getting some hands-on time with her and watching her develop over the last month has been amazing because she's tough. She's really, really tough. And I think we put some tools in our bag to actually help her get over the hump this year because she was kind of close last year, her and Jade Hudo both, and Jade's tough as nails too. So I think we've got a few more people that can kind of pop out and stuff. Like I say, man, we just gonna get in there and just battle.
Better, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's something we can really do at this time. Try to be better than we were. I always tell them every day, hey, look at 3 positive things you did and look at 2 negative things you did. Kind of work on trying to sustain the positives and trying to take those negatives and turn them into a positive. And I was like, that should be your mindset going in every day. I'm going here and I'm going to leave better than I was the day before. Or the moment I walked in the room, I'm going to leave a better person. Somehow, some way, I'm going to leave better in some aspect than I was before. So.
Well, let's shift to my final question because I try to keep this pretty short because that sort of thing. But my final question is this is a big week. I mean, you got Southeastern, you've got Kaiser, you got St. Thomas. these are all teams that you guys. I mean, what is it like starting the season against those teams that I believe they're in your conference, right?
Oh yeah, they're in our conference, man. I
Yeah.
mean that's tough, man. I mean, Jake does a good job at St. Thomas. I mean, Nick's, of course, down at Kaiser, Travis, and those guys at Southeastern. I mean, it's tough. I mean, it's really, really tough. But it's good because, you want to kind of see where you're at. And that's the only way I've always been this way, even when I coached high school. Like, hey, I want to go after the best competition to see where we at. I mean, that's the only thing. I mean, what's the worst? You can't run away from it. We're gonna see them anyway, so we might as well get in there and see where we stack up at. Our kids are excited about the opportunity, especially at Southeastern on Friday night. That's their home opener. It's a tough place to go wrestle. And like I said, Travis and them, they do an amazing job there. They got beautiful facilities. And it'd be a good experience for our kids. They just ready to compete, and we kind of we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know if you know this, or in terms of, and it's totally cool because I know you guys are away, but do you know if there's an ability for us to watch it, to stream it, and will it be covered?
Yes.
Do you have any idea?
Yes, both. I talked to our social media guy yesterday, and he was saying that he was going to put the links on our schedule. And I'm pretty sure you can go to St. Thomas, Kaiser, or Southeastern's page and be able to click on the links to be able to, see the match and stuff. But yeah, I think it is an option to be able to watch.
Awesome.
I'm 100% sure.
I mean, I'm chomping at the bit to watch wrestling. I can't wait till the season starts.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Coach, I want to wish you the best of luck, obviously later this week, and best of luck this season. And, we finally cut up right before the season started, but I'd love to touch base as we get further into the season and talk a little bit about your reflecting on kind of kids who have made a lot of progress over the course of the year. Would that be okay?
Oh, yes, sir. Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt, man. And like I said, hey, for all you high schools out there looking, guys and gals, we're looking for some people. Look us up on Instagram, SAU Wrestle. Look up the St. Andrews website. We're looking for, some
pretty campus.
Yeah, people to come in. So if you got any aspirations trying to go to the next level, man, and we'll come to a nice little small campus, nice little country place, man, be close to the beach and, get to experience life on a different level. Come on, we'll take you, man. Light it up.
That sounds great, Coach. Coach, I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.